There is a specific kind of silence that doesn't feel quiet. It feels heavy. It's the silence of a house where everyone is awake, but nobody is talking. It's 2 a.m. You're staring at the ceiling, and your brain is performing a ritual you never asked for. The midnight math, gas, rent, electricity, mom's medication, that credit card balance from 3 months ago, I bought the kids' school trip. You pick up your phone. You open your banking app with the same dread someone might feel opening a horror novel. You see the number. You exhale a breath you didn't know you were holding. You aren't starving. Not yet. You have food for tomorrow. But your soul? Your soul is suffocating. Welcome to the most brutal truth of the 21st century. Being broke is a temporary state of your wallet, but money stress is a windowless prison for your mind. Today, we aren't talking about how to make $1 million. We're talking about why a person earning $100,000 a year can be more miserable than someone earning $10,000. We're going to dissect why the ghost of money is more ruthless than poverty itself. We need to draw a line in the sand. When you are broke, it is a logic problem. You have $10, but you need 20. It's an objective reality. It's hard. It's cold, but it's a math equation. You look for a way to ADD or a way to subtract. But money stress? Money stress is a subjective monster. It doesn't care how much is in your bank account. It only cares about the gap between what you have and what you think you are supposed to have. Psychologists call this the scarcity mindset. When your brain is under the siege of financial anxiety, your functional IQ actually drops. You lose the ability to think long-term. You become like a drowning person. You'll grab onto anything that floats, even if it's a jagged rock painted like a lifebuoy. Yes, poverty can end when you get a better job. But money stress? It follows you. It gets promoted with you. It sits next to you in your new car and whispers, "It's still not enough. What if it all disappears tomorrow?" Why is the stress worse than the lack? Because stress is fueled by shame. In history, like the hyperinflation of 1920s Germany, everyone was poor together. When the whole world is burning, you don't feel like a failure for smelling like smoke. There was a collective dignity in the struggle. Max, but today, social media has created a toxic hallucination. You see the vacation photos, the new cars, the 20-year-old CEOs on TikTok, and suddenly, your enough feels like nothing. Money stress begins when we start borrowing from our future to buy things we don't need, to impress people we don't even like. You finance a car you can't afford to look successful for your clients. And every night, that car turns into a boulder sitting on your chest. You can't quit a soul-crushing job because the golden cage is too expensive to maintain. Poverty makes you hungry, but money stress robs you of your freedom. You become a slave to the very objects you thought you owned. This is the part that hurts the most. Money stress is the silent killer of intimacy. Statistics show that financial issues are the leading cause of divorce, surpassing even infidelity. Why? Because money isn't just paper. It is a symbol of safety. When a partner feels they can't provide or protect, that stress mutates. It becomes irritability, withdrawal, or deep depression. When the other partner feels the future is unstable, it turns into nagging and constant anxiety. They stop seeing each other as partners and start seeing each other as failed economic units. The hugs get shorter, replaced by debates over the electric bill. You see, real poverty can actually bond people together. Think of the stories of our grandparents sharing a single bowl of rice. But modern money stress drives us apart. It makes us retreat into our own private bunkers of worry, where no one else is allowed in. History has warned us. In the Great Crash of 1929, there were millionaires who chose to end their lives because they lost 90% of their wealth. Think about that for a second. Their remaining 10% was still more than a normal person would see in a lifetime. So why did they jump? Because they couldn't survive the stress of not being someone anymore. To them, money wasn't a tool. It was their identity. When the numbers on the ledger vanished, their soul evaporated with them. That is the ultimate cruelty of money stress. It convinces you that your value as a human being is equal to your net worth. So, how do we kill the ghost? The first step is a radical realization. Money is a great servant, but a terrible master. To heal the stress, you have to learn how to be poor on purpose. That sounds crazy, doesn't it? But it's the only way out. Being poor on purpose doesn't mean giving away your house. It means severing the toxic wires of expectation. Accept reality. I am struggling right now, and that is okay. Shame dies the moment you look your bank balance in the eye. Stop the comparison. Turn off the feed. Other people's lives are a highlight reel. Don't compare it to your behind-the-scenes footage. Seek non-financial wealth. There are things inflation cannot touch: wisdom, health, and a partner who stays. When the golden cage rusts away, you can be broke for a season, and it will be a challenge. But don't let money stress haunt you for a lifetime. That is a waste of a human soul. Tonight, before you go to sleep, ask yourself one question. If money ceased to exist tomorrow, who would I be? If the answer is a cold, empty silence, then it's time to start building a version of yourself that isn't printed on a green piece of paper. Don't let the ghost steal your sleep. You were born to live, not to be a calculator, powered by anxiety. Thank you for watching Simple Money. Share your story in the comments. Sometimes, speaking the stress out loud is the first step toward setting yourself free.